Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Multi-Dimensional Shift podcast. This is your girl, Nee. We are here to connect through love, empathy, and high vibrations. Let's tap in. So this episode, we have the privilege of tapping in with Menesis. Yes. Menesis is one of my good friends. We knew each other since high school, really, but we really got connected through college. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And one thing I'm super proud about Menesis, she just passed her board. She has her master's degree. Right? Yes. That's something to be super proud of because I don't know if you know, but only 14% of the adult population in the US has their master's. So that's something to be proud of.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So what was your biggest challenge with that? Do you feel like?
Well, definitely so I'm neurodivergent. I have ADHD. So definitely, when you have ADHD, you learn different. So I was taking advice from my friends, but they don't learn the same as me. So I really had to understand how I learn. I would record myself, listen to myself, rehearsing the topics and what else? Attending. And I had to make sure I had the extra supports. So I got extra time on tests. I got to test in a separate room. Mm-hmm. And some people are ashamed of those things,
Right.
But that makes you at the same line as others.
Mm-hmm. When you get that support.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So that's everything I had to do.
Yeah. One thing I heard you say is that you found different ways to teach yourself. So
yes.
Auditory listening. I realized that I'm a visual learner. Mm-hmm. So you just got to figure out what works for you and then go based upon that. Because I think sometimes being neurodivergent or having ADHD, it provides almost a title, and it almost makes you feel like you can't do anything with that.
Yes.
Right? There's a stigmatism behind it, but you just got your master's, girl. So hello, we can get through it. Right?
Yes. Because if you channel it, it can be as a superpower, because I have all this energy. I have so much energy. I'm always up here. So what is that good for? Businesses, productivity, so all you have to do is just channel it and go with it.
Right. Yeah. Honestly, I always tell you it is one of your biggest things because I feel I don't think you realize how natural you are with that. Mm-hmm. And we were talking about it before about I feel one of my trauma responses is being hyper independent, and yours you were saying was codependent. You want to elaborate on that? Why do you feel
Yeah, I'm definitely the opposite of hyper independent,
But there's pros and cons in both.
Yeah.
In both. Mm-hmm.
I'm not really sure if I would call it a trauma response or just how I was raised.
Right. For sure. That could be.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm the princess. So, but I have, I don't know if you want to call it a gift, but of just seeing what person can do what. And seeing how everything can be put together. So I like to delegate tasks.
Right.
But like you said, there's pros and cons. Because if I'm doing too much delegating, then what happens? People think
you can't do nothing yourself.
Yes, right. I can't do nothing myself. Right. I didn't earn it, so.
Nah, but that's a gift. Because with me, the pro of me being hyper independent is that I'm going to try to get it done myself, right? And I'm going to figure out a way to get it done myself. But at the same time, I had a business with one of my other friends, Bridget. We had a clothing brand and we were doing everything ourselves. Literally the models, freaking accountants. I was doing tax at one point. I don't do taxes. Doing so many things. And it's you're putting so much weight on yourself that you have to be able to delegate tasks and understand when you need help. So that's how you get things done, by working together. So there's pros and cons in both. You just got to figure out who you are and then how to venture from there.
That's true.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So one thing that I do admire about you also outside of professional goals is your ability to keep relationships. You're you know what I mean?
Yes.
So how do you do that?
I don't know. I mean, that's definitely relationships. So I took a personality quiz, right? And I think I was 2% away from being 100% extrovert.
You're definitely an extrovert.
Right. So I don't know, I really, I think relationships are just so important and they really fuel me up. They give me life. They make me happy, my friends. So I don't know. I think I really I take a lot of pride in the friendships that I formed.
Right.
And I say, that's my team.
Right.
I can't get through anything without them.
Right. Mm-hmm. And I also think it's also due to the fact that you how you were raised. Like you said, everything has to do with how you were raised too. Your family is so like family oriented. Do you feel like it comes from like it stems from like the Latina side of you? Because I feel like a lot of Hispanics are very family oriented and, you know, have that support. So do you feel like it has?
Yeah, I think Dominicans are really family oriented, and it's like we help each other out, you know, no matter what. And really, it's I'm trying to think of that word. What is like, even if somebody messes up or we like get mad at each other, like it's not you can't break a bridge no matter what, because that's family.
Right, I love it.
You can't. You know, if it's blood, it's blood.
Right.
So that's sometimes I channel that into friendships too. Like, all right, they mess up, they piss me off, but you know, we got to get through it. You know?
Yeah, because a lot of people have this like mindset that like everybody's against them or like, which it could be true, but like I do believe there's good and bad in all of us. You know what I mean? And it doesn't necessarily mean that that person's against you. It just means that they're kind of going against themselves. Right. If that makes sense. Because like we're all interconnected. We all like, you know, how can I say this? If I'm going through something, for instance, one of my friends, or not my friends anymore, but I feel like you got to know when to cut it and when not to, like, you know, continue it.
That's good that you say that, because I'm not a cut-off queen at all.
You know?
I don't cut anybody off. And like you said, it's a balance.
It's a balance, yeah. So, like, I feel like we all have the emotion of jealousy, right? But nobody... Do you ever feel like you've ever been jealous? Because I don't see that in you, but like...
Yeah, of girlfriends.
Yeah. I had a friend that I felt as though she was a little jealous. And you know how sometimes like people like make slight comments or like laugh it off or things like that. That's something we just naturally did. So I just kind of like assumed that that's what that was. But then it was like a situation where she didn't have no filter about when she did it. So now you're trying to like embarrass me, I feel like.
Right. I don't like that.
I don't like that either, because I feel like family doesn't do that. You know what I mean? But I still... This is the part where I was saying where I could understand, but I don't agree with it. So I could understand where she's coming from, because we all have experienced like the emotion jealousy before, you know? But it's about what you do with that emotion, how you channel it, and your response to it. So for me, I've felt the emotion of jealousy about somebody before, right? But the way I channel it is by alchemizing the situation. So what that means is I'll take the negative, look at myself like, what the hell am I jealous about somebody else? Did I do anything to achieve what they achieved, or am I willing to put in the work that they put in to get to where they're at? So that's how I do that. But a lot of people are not at that level of doing that yet. You know, that spirituality of doing that yet. So that's the way I channel it. I don't like talk down or judge that person, because that's me at one point, right? But it's just about what you do with it. But back to relationship dynamics with family members and stuff like that. Another reason why I feel like family is good too, because it's like it grounds you, right? I feel like so like, how do you feel like you feel like your family grounds you? Do you feel like other relationship grounds you as well, or just your family?
Well, I think the biggest family is definitely important, and I'm really family oriented, and you know, I'm Dominican, so family's gonna be family, period. You know, but I think that my friends are the ones that ground me the most. Like, I'm a big friends person, because it's like sometimes, like, you know, being like Caribbean, Dominican, you can't always go to family
about
with
everything.
Certain things, you know, that you can go with your friends. So, yeah, I think my friends are, if I need like a breather, then
definitely
go to my friends. Yeah, because sometimes it's not even really about like, I don't come from like, you know, like Talk's parents. My parents are amazing. Love them. Like, they raised me so good. But at this point, it's about like, I'm not about to disappoint them. Right. You know? So like, I'll go to a friend because they don't care.
Yeah. And then I also feel like you saying that your parents are amazing, though. One of the things I love about your family dynamic is with the relationship that you have with your mom. Yes. I feel like the relationship that a woman has with her mom, like, kind of like solidifies the other relationships she has with other women and kind of like other dynamics of people. You know what I mean? Yeah, you and your mom, like, y'all go on trips together. Y'all be like partying. I love that.
No, like, she's a vibe.
She's definitely a vibe. She's definitely a vibe. So like, was that always the case? Did you always, like, growing up, did you feel like you always wanted to be around your mom, or that's something that naturally just like kind of happened as you grew up?
Well, definitely, when you're a teenager, like you're not friends with your parents.
Right.
You're too cool. I was never like an embarrassed kid. Like
Right.
I never really felt embarrassment that much in that sense.
Right.
But definitely as I grown older, I just saw she's cool.
Appreciated it more.
And a lot of people say, like, when they meet my mom, they say, "Wow, now I see why you are the way you are." Like her energy is on 1,000 all the time.
Literally.
That's how I am. So.
And another aspect of you is that you're very positive.
Yes.
You're always like, you're like a light. I don't know how to explain it.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So where do you think that stemmed from?
Well, you know what? Definitely. Well, I will say, because a lot of people do say that my mom is this way. And they tell, because I was at the store the other day and somebody told me like, "Oh, you're smiling so much. You like full of life or something." And I'm like, why would I be mad though? Like what's going on now?
Right.
But, and then I told my mom that story. My mom was like, "Oh, I'm the same way. People tell me the same thing." However, my grandma on my dad's side, she's the most patient woman I have ever met. And I was asking her about stories because she moved to like Venezuela. She went to Aruba and all these, she went
to different places.
Yeah, she lived there and had the kids in different places with the same guy. But she was traveling. So like my dad was born in Aruba, but each place I was like trying to get the tea. So I was like, "Oh, what happened here? How was this?" She's like, "Well, this was good. We had this, we had that." I'm like, "What about this place?" And then she was telling me she was a little bit more poor. Like I think it was in Venezuela. So I was like, "Oh, so was it hard?" Everything, she turned it positive. Every single thing.
Literally.
She was like, "Oh yeah, but we had community." So that was like the best part. So I can't say that really was, like a bad experience because we had community holding each other down, so it didn't really matter for her.
I love that you said that she turned everything positive because there's pros and cons in everything. It's just about how you look at it and your perspective on it. You know what I mean? That will literally shift your reality. So it's funny that you said that because like at work and since I was young, I've always heard that you smile and laugh all the time, right?
Yeah.
But then I like kind of reserve it a little bit because I realize I do that with people I'm comfortable with. And then like the average person probably might look at me like, "Oh, she's kind of stuck up and mean." But that's probably because I grew up in the Bronx, so you can't be smiling everywhere in the Bronx.
That's true. Yeah.
You definitely can. But when you get to know me, I'm very like giggly and laugh. I laugh all the time. And I've heard that since like middle school, like elementary school, I've heard that. So I know about it. Thanks. Like literally, I think that's what it is. It's just shifting your mindset and then be able to like, make it more positive. Because there's always a pro and a con to everything. Even cons, you could literally turn it into something positive if you look at it.
That's true. I mean, one time I was working, I think, at Nathan's and I had a customer. And the customers, and I'm just being like myself. I'm smiling, I'm talking, and then he goes to like, I think my manager, I guess they were cool. This was like, and he's like, "Oh, she definitely wants me." And I'm like, "What?"
Like, sir, you're reading the room wrong.
Right, but just because I'm like happy, I'm smiling, that's not the vibe.
Right, that's just you.
And I'm gay. So that definitely wasn't it. You know what I mean? Oh, we not speaking.
You can say that. It's your truth. It's your truth. It's okay. All right, so that threw me off. It's your truth. If that's what you want, that's what you want. Okay, I'm gonna get a little messy.
All right.
Do you feel like body counts matter?
No.
Why do you feel like that?
That's so crazy because why would it matter for someone, but then the other no? I don't know. That's crazy though.
Okay, right? I feel like maybe you say that because you're a lesbian. I feel like body counts matter as a heterosexual woman because a lot of people don't realize it's a spiritual exchange that is acquiring during that transfer.
Oh, you know what?
Literally.
In what way are you saying it matters? Because,
for instance, if you look at the anatomy of a man and a woman, right? A man, hold on, because I know you're gonna do that. A man is like a plug, right? And then the woman is open. You're literally transferring energy. I promise you. You don't believe that? Okay.
I've heard this.
You heard the theory?
The theory before, yeah.
Okay, but you don't feel like it's true.
No, because I just feel like it's again goes back to gender norms, societal norms, and it does having that narrative sometimes. I understand, yes, but I now you're kind of shifting my mindset that maybe it does matter, but maybe it matters for both.
Okay.
Because before I was like, it doesn't matter. But you know what? It
No,
does
I feel
matter.
like it matters for men too. Men, it's just society makes it feel like, okay, like I'm a man, so I could just sleep with anybody. But I think it matters for men as well. Okay. But more for women. Yes. Yes.
No.
First of all, we're emotional. First of all, you're saying that. You're saying that because you're sleeping with women, right? I'm assuming you're a lesbian.
Yeah.
But as a heterosexual woman, you're sleeping with men. So I feel like on nature versus nurture kind of thing, our nature is to be more, like we're more emotional, right? And we tie. You don't think so?
No, yes, we're more emotional.
Okay.
For a fact, yeah. So we have more. We're more tapped in.
Okay.
Yeah.
But okay, hear me out. Well, you might not be the best person to ask about this, but you have guy friends and stuff. Do you feel like they could be emotional? Like, do you believe that men have emotions? Like, obviously they have emotions, but so because I find that like a lot of my friends that are like heterosexual women that dating men, some of them feel as though that men don't have emotions, but it's just because they're not comfortable with you. That's why they don't have emotions with you. They're not open enough with you.
I think there are a lot of environmental factors, right? There's culture, there's culture, there's race, there's environment, like in general, like how you grew up, like, so, because I think like my dad, like I'm Dominican again, but Dominican men are the most like, they say they're known to be the most machismo.
What that mean?
So machismo is like very like gender a man and like not treating like women are in the kitchen type of vibe. Okay. So, but my dad is not like that. He's very patient. He's tapped in. He's like the most patient person I know. Like he's more patient than me.
I think with my parents' dynamic, my dad's more patient than my mom as well.
Okay.
I think men need to be able to tap into that more. I think we, as men and women, we both have like femininity and masculinity within us. And I think both energies are different. Like masculinity is more like, action and, you making something happen. Whereas femininity is more like go with the flow and like, receptive. But I think you need both energies. Like we wouldn't be here today if I didn't have the masculine energy. But like, okay, I got to do this, Yeah. Or you would your masters, hello, right? You gotta take that. But I also, that goes with the hyper independence too. I feel like I need to be more receptive of receiving too. Since we're on the topic of like, spiritual exchange and like, do you believe in like soul ties? Like soul ties?
What's that?
So apparently like soul ties are like when you kind of like have this connection with like a soul. But that sounds great. But it could be, there's pros and cons and everything. It could be toxic when you're having soul ties with someone you're not meant to have soul ties with. And like exchanging that energy during sex is one of the causes of that. You're like with someone or whatever, and you're not, I can't say you're not supposed to be with them, but when you're with someone, do you feel like you've ever experienced a soul tie where you feel like drained, your energy is drained, like you think about them all the time?
Like in general, like after being with them, like, I'm not sure.
Because you're not really sure about the definition, right?
Yeah.
I could tell. All right, maybe I'm not explaining it the best way. Okay, how can I explain it? A soul tie.
It's like a twin flame.
Twin flame is like there's only one. A soul tie, you can have soul ties with anybody.
Yeah, that's what I'm confusing it with.
Yeah, like a soul tie is more so like, it could be with anyone.
You can have multiple.
You could have multiple soul ties, but it's just like, it's worse when you have sex with the person because now it's like your energy is drained. You literally only think about them, like your life is consumed with them because So,
the thing is, I like to think of myself as spiritual. Like when people ask me, I'm spiritual, but I don't have that many spiritual beliefs.
What do you mean?
Because I tend to lead more scientific. So like when there's like, or a soul ties or a twin flame, I'm just like, nah. You know what I mean? Like,
oh, so you don't believe in it too much?
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
I feel like there's truth in everything. So I kind of dibble and dabble a little bit in everything. But I feel like my foundation, I grew up as a Christian. So my foundation is that. But I do believe that I believe in a little bit of everything. Like I take information a little bit from here and there, and even with astrology.
Well, I'll say first, I do take something from different religions. Like I like from that Buddha. It's like, it's just, the whole point is just to be nice to your neighbor, be nice to people. And in some ways, Christianity is like that too, right?
Literally, I feel like all
Catholic,
of them. Yeah. No, sorry to cut you off. Go ahead.
No,
I was gonna say, like, I literally feel like all of them kind of say the same thing when you really tap into it. It's just, I feel like a lot of times, a lot of people forget the message and are so focused on the messenger, like, I'm right, you're wrong, I'm right, you're wrong.
Yes.
Instead of literally looking at the point of what it's trying to say. And then when you look at the message, you'll be able to live in this like harmonious way. And I made a joke.
Like that.
Yeah. And I made a joke about you saying that that you're liberal and I'm conservative, because we always talk about this, that there's like a spectrum and everything, right?
Right.
And I feel like the most stable you'll be is when you're in a balance of something, right? So like I consider myself a little more conservative because I find myself more relatable to like traditional ways. I feel like there has to be order and structure in life, but I feel like too much makes you too rigid, right? So, so balance. That's like my favorite word. What do you think? What's your opinion on that?
Yeah, definitely there should be balance. I mean, yeah, and once it gets too rigid, it's just like, who does it get rigid for?
Right.
That's the thing, Marginalized groups get affected. So that's where it's like, you can't be too strict, or because then the strictness is applied to certain groups.
Right. So one of the main things about this podcast is like a manifestation and just like bringing things into reality. So what is one thing that you brought into reality, like you manifested?
This friendship.
Tell me how.
No, so, all right. We're in class and I'm like, you know what? In every class, I need like a friend, a little buddy, to ask questions to. What are they doing? So I was looking and I'm like, who's raising their hand the most? It was Shoshani.
What class was that?
I was like, so I waited outside for her. It was biology.
Okay, yeah, biology. I remember.
Or was it No, it was biology. And then I said, oh, do you need a ride home? Right? And then that's it.
And literally, but what's so funny? Like, that goes back to your characteristic about just being able to like know who, works good for what. And, and I'm glad you did that because like, look where it got us now,
Right.
Yeah. Another thing you manifested was like you actually graduating and passing your boards and stuff. Like, people don't realize, because manifestation just sounds like like magic, right? But and in a sense, it is you come with a thought and then you bring it into reality, and that could be with anything. So I think that's what we could take from this episode, is just like being able to be positive and then take your thoughts and bring it to reality, right? Just like this podcast. Like we're here today. So yes, I just want to conclude here. Thank you guys for joining me. Thank you, Menesis, for joining me. Of course. And that concludes the Multi-Dimensional Shift podcast. Love and empathy.
Yes.